Well, good morning, everybody. It is day 13. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. We are up, we are packed, and we're getting ready to get out of here. I wanted to show you this serviceberry bush behind me, or tree. This thing is huge, and it's just loaded. What a blessing, what a gift. I've been reaching up, getting some of these, and it's been really nice to have this the last couple of days here. Those are delicious. Looking forward, right here to my left, look at this wild apple tree. Look at how beautiful that is. And this one is also loaded. Take a look at that. So yes, I have definitely been indulging on both of these fantastic resources. Day 13, right? It's crazy. We're getting ready to get out of here. Right now, the water is calm. Very calm. The weather is good, and we're starting our day. The bigger they are, the better they taste. So far, it is a nice, easy, comfortable paddle. The water is very calm. Unfortunately, Jean's dealing with the woofer who had a brief encounter last night with a skunk. She didn't get full on sprayed, but she definitely smells of skunk. Not a strong one, but it's enough where it's frustrating.
It's stinky, really stinky.
It's really stinky. Looking ahead, I'm looking at about maybe 10 to 12 sailboats right there. That's pretty cool. And as you can see, like I said, the water is very smooth, and it's just a beautiful paddle right now. It felt good to leave the beach and get back on the journey. I think we've probably went maybe a quarter of a mile so far or something like that. Pretty mild paddle. And looking straight ahead, I believe this is called Ricky's Point or something like that.
Ricky Point.
Ricky Point. So that's the direction we're heading south still. So there's a closer look at those sailboats. I noticed one right here. It looks like an older boat, and even though there's some really cool sailboats, I like that tan colored one, that older one. Pretty dang cool. There's a tiny little island right there. It's kind of cute. And right there in that tree, there's another bald eagle perched right up there. How beautiful. He's just scratching his chest with his beak. So beautiful seeing all of these things. Another little island right here. It would be neat to put a tiny house on a little island like that. That'd be kind of funny. So that's kind of cool right there. Those look like aspen trees on the river's edge, right there on the bank. That's pretty cool. So that little pontoon boat there has 3 pontoons. There's a few houses and boats. And pretty cool little area right here. We think that this is Ricky Point Resort, possibly. Not completely sure, but that's what we're thinking. So right there, we're taking a look at Ricky Point, and then we're just going to continue to head off in this direction. You can see a big houseboat on the water off in the distance. There's another one straight across over here. Now, I think that houseboats are pretty cool, but if it was me, I would want a tiny houseboat, like 12 by 16 or something, with an electric trolling motor and some massive solar array and a big battery bank, so that I could troll up and down the river at a slow speed without ever having to buy fuel or gas or anything like that. That would be like perfect for me. Yeah, tiny houseboat with electric, big lithium iron phosphate battery bank, maybe 8, 16 batteries, so that I could run the trolling motor all day long, park somewhere, and then just spend a couple days recharging. That would be a pretty cool life, I think. Looks like somebody was making a little bit of a shade. The water's really clear here. You can see all the rocks and everything. It's really nice. What a beautiful day to be out on the kayak. It's wonderful. We're gonna tuck up and stay close to the bank, and this adds probably another half mile or mile, where if we would just go straight, it would be a lot more direct. But we stay near the bank because we don't know if the wind's gonna act up, and if something was to happen, the bank is right there. So even though it adds mileage to our trip, it's good mileage because we're safe. We're clear, close to the bank. The winds are very gently starting to come into our face. We've been paddling, I think we've done maybe 2 miles by this point. So we're starting to feel a very mild wind. So we're kind of preemptively staying close to the bank. Looking off in the distance up there, I can see the water starting to flow to the north, and we're heading south. So starting to look like the wind might be trying to decide if it's going to go or not. We got some rocks sliding down here, and we see a little cove up here with a little beach. We're going to stop and take a bathroom break. Potty break for the dog and us. See, she's already peeing. Here's our little cove that we're taking a break at. Nice little spot to hang out for a minute and rest the arms. And we're looking at a beautiful houseboat going by. That's a really nice boat. They're waving at us. Well, we're back on the move and the wind is starting. So we are already starting to go against the wind again. But here we go. There's a houseboat over there. That's that same houseboat coming out. That's a pretty cool little houseboat. Look at their little flag up there, and you can see the wind on their flag. Take a look at that. You can see the little bits and pieces that are just falling into the water. The wind has definitely started, and it's not in our favor, unfortunately. So straight up ahead off in the distance, there's a little beach with some trees. We're aiming for that right now to take a look, maybe have some breakfast because we haven't ate yet, and then we'll see what we're going to do from there. But that's our objective right now. So I'm really glad that we're staying fairly close to the bank, because I would not want to be out in all of this open water right now when this wind kicks up. When we stay as close as we can to the beach over here, or the bank of the river, that's nice because it gives us a quick escape, an easy way to get to land in the event something happens with these crazy winds. And we're starting to see massive cloud coverage today. In fact, it looks like almost there's rain in those clouds. So it's very interesting, the weather that we're seeing today. But this is so beautiful to be out here. It's amazing. It's so peaceful, so quiet. I'm just loving every second of this journey. So as much as we did not want to, we were forced to separate briefly. I have her towing the kayak, and I'm heading back to the potty spot because she forgot her hat. So I'm gonna go right around this cove and get her hat, and then I'll head back, and we're gonna meet up where she is, just past her to those trees that I was talking about a minute ago. So no worries. She didn't want to go back for it, but I told her we still have more than half of this journey. You need your hat. So I told her, if you tow the kayak over there, and I'll go back and get your hat. Okay, I am now leaving and I have the hat. So the houseboat that we showed earlier, they pulled into that spot when we left. Very friendly people. They rent that houseboat every year, and they have their family and stuff, and they had already had the hat. When I pulled around the bend, they knew what I was coming for. And very friendly people. And so thank you to them for having the hat ready for us. So it's fantastic. I'm back on my way, and I got a little ways to go. The good news for me right now is the water seems to have calmed down. So I'm heading just off this peak right here. You can barely see it right off in the distance. The trees on the far bank over there. That's where I'm heading. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful day to be out here on the water. And it was nice to see some good people. I kind of told them a little bit about our story, what we're doing. And it was a nice little exchange of information and kind of meeting each other. And now I'm back. So as I'm paddling back towards the trees, I want to thank God for leveling out this water and making it smooth for me to paddle on to get back. What a beautiful gift. And as I paddle back to my sweetheart and our three-legged woofer, I'm looking over here on the bank, and you can see some beautiful homes up here. We've seen them all along the banks of this river. And it makes me wonder what the price point is. You know, how much is the real estate market up to have a house like one of these off the bank of the Columbia River? I'm very curious about that. Also, looking forward, you can see there's a little bit of a haze in the air. That is the smoke from the Hope fire that broke out a couple days ago. There's some beautiful properties up here. We're seeing lots of them. I'm just curious what they run up here. I bet you they're a pretty penny. So there's a better view of that house now that the trees are kind of uncovering it a little bit. The road is just on the other side of those houses. You can see that logging truck. But what a pretty area. And it's just that curiosity. I wonder what they run up here. Well, they are in sight. There's a little structure kind of by where the kayaks are. You can see the blue and red kayak off in the distance. And there's like a little building right there. I'm curious what that little building is. So this is a pump house. Now I've arrived to my sweetheart, and we're gonna get right back on the water and take advantage of it being calm right now. We are now back on the move. Right now our aim is this short little point, and then maybe that long point in the distance. We're gonna play it by ear and see how it goes. So as we're paddling gently on these smooth waters and eating an apple, I'm looking off in the distance, and there's another apple tree right there. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Tiny bit tart, but I like the sour green apple flavor. So for me, these are perfect. So straight up ahead on a log, we see something red. And then to the right of the log, you can see a couple ravens walking around. We're gonna go find out what that red thing is. So it looks like a little kid's t-shirt. Somebody lost a t-shirt. I don't think it'll fit us, honey.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's so cute, but it won't fit us. So I'm looking down at the bottom of the water here, and we got some nice sand in this area that we're at. Very nice sandy bottom kind of area. And I'm just looking and I'm thinking about crawdad trap placement. An area that has a nice sandy area like this, I think would be an effective crawdad placement. And while I was looking around, I saw money down in the water. And I pulled up $1. There was a $1 bill at the bottom of the water. How crazy is that? How do you find a $1 bill in the water? But that's what we found. So I guess we'll add that to our stash. And now we're rich. We're rich, baby. Break out the red panties. Woohoo! We made it rich. So there has been a positive change to the wind. We have the wind slightly blowing to the southeast, very lightly. So it's really nice because we're drifting, even though it's very, very slight. It's a good paddle right now. So we are here, what we think is called Bradbury Beach. And I'm looking at some jiu-jitsu right now. They're playing King of the Dock. So let's see if we can sneak this match right here. They've been going over and over, back and forth. I think they're wrestling because there's a lot of hand fighting and stuff going on. So every once in a while, one of them will get the other and they'll toss them off the dock. Well, he's got the underhook. Looks like the guy in the lighter skin is locking legs. Yeah, I think they're wrestlers because jiu-jitsu doesn't really... We would have been establishing hooks and things. Yeah, he's going for a pin, so they're definitely wrestlers. The water's getting a little choppy. So it looks like they're playing with some submissions too, because I think the guy, the darker skinned guy, I think he tapped a second ago. And we're looking at the Bradbury boat launch area. You can see the buoys. Funniest thing about the woofer right now is she's falling asleep sitting up like that. It's so cute. The wind is getting a little bit stronger, but it's still pushing our backs. So it's still going to the southeast. So we're happy about that, even though we don't like the bigger waves. We decided to take a break. We found a nice little beached area. We brought the kayaks in. There's a nice little willow over here. And I am officially sitting on my throne. I am the king. Let me show you my throne. Look at that. Yeah, fit for a king or a queen. Oh yeah. Yeah, rock it, baby. So we're gonna take us a break. We might stay here.
It's a pretty nice spot.
Good cell coverage here. Nice beach for the dog. And Jean had a good point. The willow tree over here in the water might be a good spot to set the crawdad trap, because they like finding little areas like that. This is kind of a cool little area. We got lots of trees and it's a slight, very easy gradual up into there. So plenty of hammock options. I'm noticing a few right here that I think would be perfect. Yeah. We'll see how we feel. We're gonna get some calories going and this could be our spot. Just saying. This is a perfect spot. It's beautiful. We walked up, there was some perfect hammock options. But as much as we like this spot, we're going to go ahead and get out of here and continue down the river while the water is fair. It's not even 2 o'clock yet, and we still have a couple of hours that we can paddle, and we're willing to do it while the water is easy. We're going to stay close to the bank like always, and if the wind kicks up, we'll just get off somewhere and make it a night. So we're going to get back on the water. So while we were there, we were able to put some calories in our body. We were able to get some little R&R in. And the sun, because of the clouds, the sun's coming in and out, and we were able to charge the GoPro up. It's full, and we're charging phones, battery banks, and we're going to head out. Take a look at that rock right there. It has some trees and even a bush growing on it. So this is for anybody out there that thinks that you can't do something. This is proof. If you try hard enough, things can be done. Look at that. That's proof of it right there. They want it, so they're making it happen. So take a look on the bank here. You can see up about maybe 30 feet. It looks like an old roadway maybe. And then there's some concrete in the water over there. And it makes you wonder, is that the old roadway? Because that house up there, the road is on the other side of that house. So could this be, look at, there's some concrete and stuff. I'm wondering if that's the old road. And another thought that comes to my mind, look at that beautiful home. Just beautiful. I bet his view is just fantastic. My question is, how does he get to the water? I'm guessing he don't, or he takes his boats or whatever he's got and takes them to the boat launch. So as we paddle towards this point, I can't help but notice how beautiful these clouds are in the sky. It is just amazing. Now we've got little patches of daylight where we've had good solar, and we've had patches of clouds like this where it'll warm you up and then it cools you down a little bit. It's been perfect weather today, and a very, very gentle southward drift, which made paddling so far very enjoyable. Just those clouds just blow me away. So here's that low spot that we're talking about what we think is the old roadway. You can see it's washed out there. But if you look just ahead, right here, there's a car right there. There's some signs. So what it looks like, and then right through here you can see like the guardrail. So it looks like they took what once was the road that came right through down here and raised it up right here and went up the mountain. So that's quite interesting. In fact, over there off in the distance you can see some signs. So the road is low over here, and it makes you wonder, is this road over here going to wash out at some point? Who knows? So we keep hearing an eagle scream, and we're looking up in this area in hopes to find him, but we can't locate him. But there is an eagle, and I'm hoping that he'll scream while I'm filming. So right now, even though we're very close to the bank, I'm looking down and we cannot see the bottom. So the same slope that we see here on this, I think it just continues downward, and that's why the water's so deep right where we are. There's a lot of driftwood in this area, but it's just gorgeous. This is so pretty over here. Just a gorgeous area. And then looking across to the other bank on the other side, ain't that pretty? So look at all this rock work. That had to have been the old road, we're thinking. That's crazy. This area is just gorgeous.
Can you imagine how many years it took for people to build that by hand with all that rock work?
Yes, and some of them stones are huge. They're massive.
Yeah.
And that's got to be the old roadway. And you can see it cutting up through here. This whole area that we're going through is just really pretty. I know I keep repeating myself, but the rock and the moss, and we just saw a cedar tree. Everything is just really, really pretty over here on this point here. So it looks like our thought process was probably correct, because look at those concrete pillars right there. There had to have been like a little bridge or something, and you can see where they've cut out the rock on the far side of that. In fact, it looks like there's a little sign or something, no trespassing or something. The road is out or something, little sign right there. But I'm guessing when it rains, they had that there in place so that the water could find the river without washing out the road. There's a wheel up there that they can turn, irrigation. Very interesting, but look at all this rock. So right up here you can see the roadway again, and I'm seeing the bank eroding away. And they probably told themselves, like, hey, if we don't move the road, we won't have a road. They probably saw this erosion and thought, we got to do something about this. So you can see a tree's roots exposed, and the green stuff looks like it's growing wolf lichen on it. That's pretty crazy. One, two, three concrete blocks. 4, 5, 6. Question is, what were they for? That's what's on my mind. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all through here. So we're talking about it, and we're kind of wondering if those are there to try to hold the bank together. I don't know. It's quite interesting, because even over there by Jean, there's 2 above her. All these concrete things. If you guys know what those are, please let us know in the comments. So straight ahead you can see a log up there. We're planning on hitting that little beachy area and calling it a day. That's a big log. Her and the woofer made it. Now I'm coming in. Here we go. We're gonna land this bad boy. Oh yeah, we are here. Okay, so we got chili with black beans and extra ground beef. That is what's on the menu tonight. We found this nice little piece of wood here on the beach, and it's perfect for letting the emberlit sit on. It's very windy right now, blowing to the south, so the wind is actually to my back. So I'm behind the camera in hopes to block the wind.
Thank you for blocking the wind, baby.
Yes, thank you. And we got the ember lit going, so supper is starting and hammocks are up. This is where we're gonna sleep tonight. Right here. So nice little hammock placement. We're off the same large tree. In the event that we need to fly, we're close enough that we can run one ridge line and it'll cover both of us. Lots of wind once we landed, but we're happy. The wolf's happy. And let me show you this log. This is pretty cool. You're probably going to get some wind noise, so my apologies ahead of time. that. This is cool. And this log is floating on this end. It's not, so it's moving. Cool thing about this log is as the wind disrupts the sand and stuff under the beach, I can actually walk out here and get cleaner water to filter than I could have over there. So it's very, very nice. And if it gets hot tomorrow, this could be a diving board for me to go swim in. Whenever we first get to a new area, we always like to explore the area. And of course you can see the little shelter here that kind of fell apart. There's like a little birch log there. But right over here I found a almost brand new tennis ball. So I put it in the kayak. But we were just kind of scoping out the area. There was lots of resources here, lots of firewood, lots of stuff. And this beautiful willow is blocking the wind right now, because if I step out, you're gonna hear the wind noise. Pretty crazy. Look at that beautiful view. And again, my apologies for the wind noise. I'm walking backwards, trying to block that wind noise for you guys. So here's that tennis ball that I was talking about earlier. This thing's like brand new, right here up on the beach. Pretty cool. I threw it in the kayak. But the woofer wants nothing to do with tennis balls. I throw it and tell her to go get it, and she looks at me like, no, go get me food. Throw that and I'll chase that. Well, it is officially dinner time.
Yep.
That smells really good. I'm gonna add a little J-Dobo Mellow. I know I've shown this a lot. I really love it. And this thing was full when we started. Look at how much we've used. If that doesn't say we love that stuff, I don't know what does.
Well, what are we gonna do if we run out before the month is up?
We'll tap out. We'll quit. We'll tap out and quit and go home. We'll call it a day. Ooh, let's try this.
I'm liking it.
With extra ground beef.
Yeah.
Black beans, chili with extra ground beef. And this is not something that we bought. This is something that she made and dehydrated and vacuum sealed. So she basically makes our MREs, if you will. Oh man. Yeah. There we are. That is hearty with that meat. And gosh, we needed that.
Yeah, all we had done was snack today.
That is really good.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is so good. I'm sure glad that we came in when we did. Look at them white caps out there. And look at the discoloration of the water out to about the tip of the log. As we were wrapping up our dinner, look at the position of the log. Some of these white caps got a little big for a minute, and it took the log and pushed it sideways. I told Jean, I wonder if I could go out there and push this thing, if it would even move. Off in the distance, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a slurry bomber heading to the fire. And unfortunately, the fire is smoking pretty bad, that Hope fire. So we're praying for them that they can get that thing contained. So Jean just looked up the Hope fire on her phone, and it has burned over 6,700 acres, and it's not contained yet. We're praying for everybody involved. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It's sad. Living in forest fire country, it always is frustrating when people do something dangerous with fire because stuff like that happens.
Yeah, it just raises the awareness to the importance of fire safety when you're cooking with your ember lit like we do, or having your campfires or whatever. Make sure they're out 100% before you go. We don't have to think about it. We live that way. It's an unspoken thing for us. We've made so many fires and put them out and drowned them, and that's just part of our routine. Just like putting up the hammock as part of the routine, we just include the fire safety part of it as well.
Yep. Well, and another thing, this time of year, a lot of people will do fireworks and near forests, which is, again, not supposed to be happening, but they get that way and get careless, and then stuff happens.
Which is so unfortunate. Dang. Well, that supper was fantastic. Delicious. Feels good having that in my belly. I got plenty of water to drink, and I just mapped our paddle today, and we went 9.4 miles according to the map. So it was a good day, and thank God for the wind that helped us. It wasn't super easy, but it wasn't against the current either. So yes, biggest day yet. It's a good feeling. Well, we just got done bathing and doing laundry. It feels so good to be clean. We're also hang drying our clothes right there on the hammock straps. What a good feeling. Now we can be clean and put on clean, dry clothes. Such a good feeling. Here we are, we're in our hammocks listening to the water. This is our view right now from our hammocks. We just watched a beautiful sunset. It's still going down. It's amazing. Today was a wonderful day. Not only have we been shooting the YouTube video for you guys, but we've also been documenting this stuff and sharing it with our friends and family on Facebook. So today we did a little over 9 miles, almost 10 miles. It was a very rewarding kind of day.
It was also very tiring.
Very tiring. It was a beautiful day. The mosquitoes are starting to come out. However, they're not near as bad here as they were at a couple other spots.
Yeah, I agree.
But we're here to hydrate, we're here to rest, and that's it. So day number 13 is officially in the books.
Have a wonderful night, you guys.
Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. We love y'all. Good night. So you guys caught us getting the munchies. Almonds, another granola bar, and Jean, look at her hiding over there. She's got apples, and every time I try to get them, she pulls them away like a snare. She's trying to trap me.